So the other week I went for an appointment to get my my ear molds fitted. I don't know why I'm pointing to my ear like you don't know what an ear is, but if you don't know what an ear mold is, it never stops sounding ridiculous. You know those things that singers have in their ears when they perform live? Basically, you have to go and get them fitted. They're personalized for everyone. They're tailor-made. Essentially what they do is they pack this like weird like foam stuff into your ear canal, and then it has to solidify, and then they take it out and send it off to someone. Now someone has a mold of my ear canal. I'm still not sure how I feel about it. It feels very personal to have a cast of my ear. Somewhere out there, a professional ear mold technician has ear molds of Taylor Swift, Beyonce. I wonder if he keeps them in like jars on a shelf. This has already gone way off piece. Essentially what you need to know is a lady stuck some weird goo in my ear and I paid her for the pleasure. And you get no apologies from me on that one. Alright, okay. So where the fuck am I going with this one today? At the same time that I was getting my ear molds fitted, I was given a complimentary hearing test, which is just part and parcel of being a singer, I guess. But truth be told, that was the thing I was looking forward to the most. That was the thing that I was most excited for and dreading, because I had myself convinced for a couple of years now that I've been losing my hearing, and I wanted to have this test to see once and for all if I was right, because I've noticed over a very short period of time, like last couple of years or so, that either I don't hear things correctly or my memory's going very, very, very wrong. Basically, like, my hearing, I don't think it sounds muffled. I've never thought it sounded muffled, but my boyfriend could be sitting right here next to me and he could ask me for a favor, like, oh, while you're up, could you go and get me a snack or something? And I just don't hear it. Like, I know he's saying something, but it's like my brain can't decipher what he's saying, and he's not a mumbler. I'm a mumbler, he's not a mumbler, so I've been pretty convinced that something has been going on, even though I haven't detected any sort of muddiness or muffledness. So I had this hearing test, and it turns out I have ruddy fantastic hearing, which was not good news. It was, of course, good news. It's never bad news to hear that you have good hearing, but it was bad news in the sense that now I didn't know what was going on with me. Why is it that my partner could perhaps ask for, say, a beer, and I would go ahead and I'd go to the kitchen to get him that, and then I would perhaps be doing something else at the same time, and I would come back and I'd just be giving him a vodka orange. And in my head, I've just turned beer into vodka orange. So I know it doesn't sound like it's a hearing problem, and guess what? Spoiler alert, it's not. But I was very convinced that it was something to do with my hearing, and it wasn't. I have ruddy good hearing, especially on my top end. You'll be pleased to know, top heavy. Oh no. So now we've moved on to another theory. And that's what this video is about, and that's what the title relates to. I'm now working on the theory that it's got nothing to do with my hearing. It's just about focus. I have no focus. I've been worried about my memory for quite some time because I feel like everyone else around me remembers certain events in their lives very well, like photographic memories of every day of this certain saga in their life. Like perhaps if you went on holiday like 4 years ago and it was a really important trip for you, like I feel like a lot of people would remember what happened on every single day, and they have like really good like visual recall of what things look like. And I have gaps. I have big ass gaps in my memory, and that's scary. I hardly remember anything about my school life, my college life. I couldn't find my way around my college, even if it had stayed the same. Now, I wouldn't be able to remember it, and that was only 10 years ago. Am I holding myself to too high of a standard? Does everyone lose these parts of their memory when they're not being used? Am I getting it more at an increased rate? But going back to focus really quick, the theory I'm now working on is that yes, I've experienced all of these things, but maybe I haven't been in the moment enough when they're happening that I've been able to sort of store it in my long-term memory. And that's why I have these gaps, because even though I was there, I wasn't really there. So that's the thing. We're now in this age where a lot of young people, particularly young women, are discovering that they have symptoms of ADHD. I don't know if you've seen a lot of that on social media. I certainly have, on Twitter and TikTok. There's this really big discussion about ADHD. Now, I'm not saying that I have ADHD. I don't know, and I'm not going to get into the debate of self-diagnosis or anything like that. But it is interesting that when this debate has come up, there have been certain things that have really fit, and it does make me wonder sometimes. For instance, this, again, is another reason I thought my hearing was going wrong. Ever since I was a kid, the way that I was brought up, whenever there was a TV on in my dad's house when I was younger, the subtitles would be on by default. And my dad doesn't have hearing issues, and I don't have hearing issues, but he always had the subtitles on. And because that was just a complete constant in my life, I can't watch a film or a TV show now unless the subtitles on. If there are not subtitles, I don't really understand what's going on. It's not a lip reading thing, because that also does not help me. I need to be reading words instead of watching what's going on. I don't know if that's just an environmental thing, because it's how I was raised, and maybe I could kick myself out of it if I wanted to, but quite frankly, I like subtitles being on. So, you know, all YouTube videos for me, like, I have to put the sort of auto-generated captions on. And by the way, I am going to try and retroactively go back and make sure my videos are subtitled. In the coming months. It's something that I should have been doing a very, very long time ago. But another thing, and this was something that was also brought up along with the subtitle thing about ADHD, is that when I'm watching a film, if I'm watching a film in the cinema, I'm fine. You know, I'm golden. I'm not there on my phone. I haven't got ants in my pants, as it were. I can sit there and watch the film. God help me if it's a boring fucking film. If I'm there with a friend and I just want to look cool with my friend and not bail on the movie, and I'm sitting there watching it, There have been a couple of movies that I found quite dull and sat through because I didn't want to tell my friend that I was bored. Things we do to impress other people, right? But if I'm watching a film at home, I'm not actually watching the film. I'm awful for it. It's a really big thing of mine. I can't sit there and watch a film without staring at my phone, looking up the film, how much it cost to make, what the budget was and what it got at the box office and who it's starring, and I recognize that name. What else has this actress been in? And also, if I've never seen the film before, I go on Wikipedia and I go straight to the plot and I read the entire plot, you know, and I spoil the film for myself. I want to know what's happening. And also, if I haven't been paying absolute attention with the subtitles, I already don't know what's happening in the film, so I'm having to look at the plot on Wikipedia to find out what's just happened in the film that I am just watching. It's odd. I cannot, you know, and I'm also one of those people that then has to talk all the way through the film. Like, did you know that Vin Diesel was not in Fast and Furious 2? Too Fast, Too Furious is what it was called. Did you know he wasn't in that one? No, he came back as a cameo in like the end of number 3, which is Tokyo Drift, which took 60.7. You know, I'm awful. So you can't watch movies with me. You can kind of watch wrestling with me. I think that's probably the only thing I can watch without looking things up all of the time. I think that's one of the reasons I like wrestling so much. It's you know, you always know what's going to happen. Not necessarily who's going to win, but, you know, you can guarantee every week that people are going to be, like, beating each other up. Kind of. And, you know, you go in, you know what you're getting, and you come out satisfied. It's fantastic. But films, it's a tough one for me. My focus, essentially... Look at that fucking tangent. My focus, I think, is a real problem, and I would like to try and work on it. I don't know if anyone else can relate to this or whether I've really screwed myself over in the last 29 years or so by just not paying enough fucking attention in my own damn life. Back in 2017, if you have been watching me for that long, you may recall that I took a really spontaneous trip to Florida whilst I was writing my book. And whilst that was all well and good and fun for the vlogs, the reason I did that was because I was actually having a bit of a mental breakdown. And I am someone that's very much like, you know, when it comes to fight or flight, I'm fleeing, man. I'm getting as far away from this stressful situation as possible. So I literally just booked a flight and booked hotels like 2 or 3 days before I was supposed to be in Florida for this random trip that I booked, and I just fucking hightailed it and said, I'll write my book out there, because I was getting behind on it and I was getting stressed. But I was out there for like, I don't know, like 5-6 days, I think. I don't know. And I only remember very, very specific things. I don't remember like what I did each day, and I don't remember where I was every day. I know that I went to Disney, and I know that I fired a gun. They were different events on different days. I probably should not have had that pause in there. That was uncomfortable. Donald Duck scares me, but not that much. You know, I remember very specific things, and I guess in that way it's good that I vlogged it. But it's almost like if I don't vlog every single day of my life, there's just so many gaps. So many things have happened in the last 10 years of my life that it feels like everything's just gone really fast. Southern. I'm Southern. I don't know if it's normal. I don't know if I'm just not present enough in my own life. I don't know if there's just been so much that I can't recall it all. I don't know if there have been some things that have been so, you know, dramatic and attention consuming that I've forgotten some of the good things. I don't know what the cause is, but I don't like it. And that's the whole reason for the title of this video. I know that when everyone talks about the summer of 2020, you know, we're talking about the current situation, which I'm sure we're all getting fed up of calling the current situation now. But I really don't remember. I have so many gaps in my memory of last year. I don't know what I did. I don't know. And that's weird, isn't it? That's really about all I have to say this week. I would like to hear from you if you relate to any of this, if you've ever felt the same way, because if you do, we're not talking about it, and we should be, because I feel very fucking alone here. I think I have problems with focus and attention, and it's impacted my memory somewhat, and I think I should... Do you guys remember that game on the Nintendo DS? The touchscreen, like that, like brain training? I think I might get a DS again and start playing it. It might help. You know, my dad always said, you know, if you don't, you have to use it or lose it, and I never understood it. And now I'm starting to think, maybe I should be training my brain a bit more. I don't know. Anyone want a brain training let's play? I don't think I could do it because of the setup, but it would be very amusing. Can we speedrun Dr. What's his name? We're gonna go on a research spiral. Was he a real man or was he made up? Dr. Kawashima. Dr. Kawashima. Shall I speedrun Dr. Kawashima's brain training? How old is your brain? I could do. This has gone so bad. I've had a lot of good things happen to me in my life, and it kind of makes me sad that when someone brings them up in passing and I try to reflect on them, you know, like the tours I've done, or the, you know, sort of winning really lovely awards and feeling really great about it, or going to America like many, many times in the last few years of my life, you know, which has been like, you know, something I never thought I'd be able to do growing up. You know, it kind of makes me sad thinking that I don't remember as much of it as I should. So that's really about it. Please let me know if you have also got memory holes. Get up on out of here with my eye holes. But you know what? Even though my memory's bad and I'm quite worried about it, and I think there's some focus issues I need to look at least now I know that my hearing is fucking marvelous. So my album is out in a week's time today. I have it here once again for your perusal. It's called Girl in a Box. You can pre-order it down below or pre-save it if you use streaming instead of buying things. That's also fine. I would really like you to hear this album. I worked very hard on it and I really hope you enjoy it. Please click on the link down below. I am a musician. Damn it, I'm a musician! I'm going to try and keep up the weekly uploads. It may be a little bit difficult at the moment as my boyfriend has broken his leg. If you want a little quick story on that, which I need to be quick on this. Basically, my cat went up our tree in the back garden and it was extremely high up. She's never been that high before. And she was panicking and nearly falling. So Davey leapt up to climb up the tree to try and grab her. And she wouldn't come down. So he put his foot in a certain position and slipped and snapped the bone in his leg and fractured his heel. So most of my attention right now has to be on making sure that he's getting better. So I will try my best to keep these uploads coming, but at the moment my attention has got to be at home. But he's doing well. He's doing good. Bless him. He's on crutches and he's got a big boot on his foot. I never knew how they worked, but now we do. It's been a very interesting week, and I'm sure I will not forget this in a very, very, very long time. And the cat's fine, before you ask. The cat made her own way down. Great.